Welcome back to the show. Today we're going deep into this CAMEL framework.
Oh, it's such a cool one.
I know, communicative agents for AI society study.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
It is, yeah.
So you sent over some documentation, a code contribution guide. We can really get into like how CAMEL works.
Yeah, it's a really powerful framework and lets researchers build and study like really complex AI systems. And this is something that was just so hard to do before CAMEL came along.
Okay, so for someone who's maybe hearing about this for the first time, how would you describe CAMEL?
Imagine like a virtual world, right? And you can simulate millions of AI agents.
Wow.
Each with their own, characteristics, memories, and they can interact and learn from each other.
Okay.
So that's basically what CAMEL lets you do. It's like a giant sandbox for experimenting with AI, but on a massive scale.
So what makes like a million agents, what makes simulating that so important for research?
So when you have that many agents interacting, you start to see these emergent behaviors, right? Like complex patterns, you get like societal dynamics that you just wouldn't observe with smaller systems.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool, and it lets researchers study how AI might behave in like real world scenarios where they need to collaborate, compete, adapt,
Yeah. It's like one thing to like create one intelligent agent,
Right.
but to understand how they all behave as a collective, that's
It's a whole other level.
yeah. So technically speaking, how does CAMEL work? And I know we hear like it uses this modular architecture.
Yeah.
What does that mean in this context?
So modular architecture basically means CAMEL is built like a set of building blocks, right? Each module has a specific function, and you can combine them in different ways to create like all sorts of unique AI systems.
Give us an example. What do some of these modules do?
Yeah, so one of the core modules is called the agents module. Pretty straightforward. This is where you like define the blueprint for your AI agents. So you specify things like how they make decisions, their learning algorithms, how they communicate with each other.
So you're defining their like DNA almost?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the DNA of your AI agent, so it determines how they think and act within the system.
I like that.
And then you have the agent societies module. And this module, it gives you the tools to create and manage these complex societies, right, of AI agents. So you can define the rules of the environment, how they interact, what kind of resources they have access to.
So you're setting up the stage.
Exactly. You're setting the stage for them.
Okay. Now I know that CAMEL isn't like tied to any specific type of AI.
Right.
It can work with different LLMs.
Yeah,
Right.
it can. That's one of the key features of CAMEL is its flexibility
Like
when
how?
it comes to the like AI brains behind these agents.
So,
So you can use models from Google, Mistral, Cohere, even custom trained models.
Yeah.
So this lets researchers compare different AI approaches and choose the best one for, whatever they're trying to research.
that's huge for the research community.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
have that flexibility so you can experiment, you can
Yeah,
compare
exactly.
different approaches.
Yeah.
Okay, so data seems like a huge part of this too.
Oh, for sure.
How does CAMEL handle the data that the agents need to learn and evolve?
So CAMEL has a dedicated data module
Right.
that focuses on, managing and processing data. So it provides tools for loading, cleaning, structuring data, whether it's synthetic data, created specifically for the simulation,
Okay.
or real-world data collected from external sources.
Oh, so you can even feed it real-world data.
You can.
Like if I wanted to simulate a financial market with AI agents,
Yeah.
I could take like real stock market data and plug it in.
Absolutely. The data module makes it really easy to integrate and manage all kinds of data, which is like crucial for creating these meaningful simulations, right?
Yeah.
And by using synthetic data sets, researchers can test their agents in these controlled environments
Oh, okay.
where they can isolate specific variables.
So real-world data, what are some examples where researchers are using real-world data in CAMEL?
So researchers are using like social media data to study how information spreads in networks, financial data to simulate market dynamics, even text data to train agents that can like generate human-like language.
So it sounds like the possibilities are pretty much endless
Oh, they are.
when you start combining data and AI agents within this framework.
It's really exciting to see what people are doing with it.
Okay, so we covered like the basics of CAMEL,
Yeah.
modular architecture, the
Yeah.
agents module, agent societies, the flexibility of using different LLMs,
Right.
and the importance of data. Is there anything else about CAMEL's like core functionalities that we could touch on before we move on?
Yeah, I think it's really important to understand that CAMEL allows for like real-time communication between agents.
Okay.
So, in most AI systems, agents might interact in like a turn-based fashion.
Right.
But in CAMEL, agents can communicate and adapt their behaviors in real time.
Okay, so why is that real-time communication so important?
So, like, imagine you're trying to simulate a traffic system, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a turn-based system, cars would move like one at a time, which isn't realistic.
Right, yeah.
With CAMEL, the cars, or the AI agents representing the cars, can react to each other's movements instantly,
Wow.
which leads to like a much more accurate and dynamic simulation.
So it's not just about individual actions.
Yeah.
It's about how those actions influence each other.
Yeah, exactly, in this constantly evolving system. And that's really what makes CAMEL so unique.
Yeah.
It's this dynamic interaction that allows for the emergence of those like complex patterns and behaviors that researchers are so interested in.
Okay, so I think we've laid a pretty good groundwork for understanding CAMEL.
We have.
Let's move on to, you mentioned these cookbooks earlier.
Yes.
Which seem to bridge the gap between, like, theory and application.
They do.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so now that we kind of have a good understanding of like CAMEL's core features,
Yeah.
let's dive into those cookbooks, right?
Yes.
Because these offer like a really practical way for people to actually get started with CAMEL.
Right.
And like see its potential.
Okay, so you mentioned that they offer step-by-step guidance for building AI systems.
They do.
Can you walk us through an example? Like, how do they actually work?
Sure, yeah. So let's take the cookbook that focuses on building a multi-agent system for data scraping
Okay.
and report generation, right?
Okay.
So imagine you're a researcher. You need to gather info from like a bunch of different websites.
Yeah.
And compile it into a report.
That sounds time-consuming.
Oh, it can be super tedious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with this cookbook, you can create a team of specialized AI agents to automate that whole process.
Okay, so instead of me going and looking at all these websites,
Right.
I have these agents doing it for me.
Exactly.
How does that work?
So you could have one agent that's dedicated to web scraping.
Okay.
Right. So it extracts the relevant data from the websites. Another agent could be responsible for cleaning and organizing that data, making sure it's all consistent, it's accurate. And then a third agent could focus on actually synthesizing the information and generating that final report.
So it's like having a research assistant.
Yeah, it's like having a dedicated research assistant, but it's powered by AI, right?
Right.
And the cool thing about this cookbook, and CAMEL in general,
Yeah.
is that it gives you the flexibility to customize these agents, right?
Okay.
And their interactions to suit, like, your specific needs.
So if I wanted to analyze, like, financial data instead of just website content,
Yeah.
I could adapt these agents.
Absolutely, you can adapt them. The principles outlined in the cookbook can be applied to a ton of different domains and research questions.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's go through another cookbook example.
Okay.
You mentioned one that focuses on creating AI judges for hackathons.
Yes, that one's really interesting.
That's a very interesting one. Tell me more.
So this cookbook shows how CAMEL can be used to automate the evaluation process in hackathons.
Okay.
So let's say you're organizing a huge hackathon, right?
Uh-huh.
Hundreds of projects submitted.
Right.
Instead of relying only on human judges.
Yeah, who have limited time.
Exactly. They have limited time, and they also might have some biases.
Right.
You can actually train AI agents to assist with that evaluation.
So they're like virtual judges?
Exactly. They're like virtual judges.
They're going through the code.
Yeah, they can analyze the code for efficiency, see if it adheres to best practices.
Wow.
They can review the documentation for clarity and completeness. They can even assess, like, how novel the project is.
So they're really judging it just like a human would.
They are. And, especially for these big hackathons, evaluating every project thoroughly can be really challenging.
Logistically, yeah.
Yeah, it's a logistical nightmare, right?
Yeah.
So by using AI judges, you can ensure, like, a more objective and consistent evaluation process.
That's a good point.
Which is super important, right? For fairness and credibility.
So it doesn't necessarily mean getting rid of human judges.
No, not at all.
It's more like giving them help.
Exactly. It's augmenting human capabilities.
Okay.
So AI judges can kind of streamline that initial screening process,
Right.
identify like promising projects,
Yeah.
and provide valuable data-driven insights to the human judges
Okay.
who can then make like the final decisions.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That AI is there to help humans.
Exactly. Not to replace them.
Right. To enhance what we're doing.
Yeah.
One more cookbook example.
Okay.
Building a customer service chatbot on Discord using CAMEL.
Right, right. So this cookbook is a great example of how Camel can be used to build these like real-world applications, right?
Uh-huh.
Chatbots are everywhere these days
They are.
in customer service. They provide like quick and efficient assistance to users.
But with Camel, you're not just building like a basic rule-based chatbot.
No, 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 no.
This is something more.
It's way more sophisticated. Camel lets you build a chatbot that's powered by AI agents that can learn and adapt in real time.
Okay.
So it provides a much more personalized
Wow.
and engaging user experience.
So it's not just giving pre-scripted responses.
Right.
It's understanding the intent
It's user's intent.
and giving them tailored information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So imagine a chatbot that can handle these complex questions, right?
Uh-huh.
Resolve issues proactively, even anticipate the user's needs based on past interactions.
That could change the game for businesses.
Oh, absolutely.
They completely revolutionize how they interact with their customers.
Yeah, and it has the potential to really improve customer satisfaction and streamline those operations.
Wow.
And again, Camel provides that framework and the tools to build these advanced chatbot systems.
So these cookbooks really showcase how versatile Camel is.
They do, yeah.
It's not just like a research tool.
Yeah.
It's this platform for building all these practical applications in different areas.
Yeah. Across all sorts of domains, yeah.
Are there any other notable cookbook examples you want to highlight before we move on?
Yeah, there's one that's pretty fascinating.
Oh.
It shows how to use Camel to simulate a virtual world.
Okay.
So in this world, the AI agents are interacting with each other and with the environment. And this allows researchers to study like emergent behaviors, complex system dynamics.
So it's like creating this mini society.
Yes, it's like a mini society inside the computer.
And watching how they form relationships.
Exactly, how they compete for resources, adapt to changing conditions.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool for understanding complex systems.
Wow.
Whether it's a simulated ecosystem, a financial market, or even a social network.
It sounds like these cookbooks are a great way for people to really get hands-on with Camel and see what it can do.
They're a great starting point, yeah.
Okay, so now I want to get a little bit deeper into like the technical side.
Okay, yeah.
We touched on this modular architecture. I want to understand more how these modules work together.
Sure.
To create these complex systems. So we've explored these really fascinating cookbooks.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They bring Camel to life.
Yeah, for sure.
But now let's go like right into the heart of Camel, this modular architecture.
Okay.
We touched on it before, but how do all these modules actually interact to enable these sophisticated simulations?
Yeah, so that modular architecture is what gives Camel its like power and flexibility, right?
Okay.
So let's kind of break down some of these key modules and see how they actually work together.
Okay.
So as we mentioned, the agents module is where you define that like blueprint for your AI agents.
Right, like how they make decisions, what they can learn, how they communicate.
All that stuff.
Then we have agent societies,
Yeah.
which sets the stage for the agents to interact.
Yeah, so it defines that environment, the rules, the resources that are available to the agents.
So you're designing like the playing field.
Yeah. It's like designing the playing field.
And the rules of the game.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the models module is where things get really interesting, I think.
Okay.
This is where you choose which AI brain is actually going to power your agents.
Right, because we talked about all these different LLMs that Camel supports.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Like practically, how do you plug those in?
So the models module provides this like standardized interface for integrating these different LLMs.
Okay.
So whether you want to use, Google, Mistral, Cohere, or even a custom trained model,
Right.
you can just easily plug it into your Camel simulation.
So it's like a toolbox.
It is, yeah.
Different AI brains.
Exactly.
You can just swap them out.
And this allows researchers to compare like how different AI models perform in the same simulated environment.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really valuable for understanding the strengths and limitations of all these different approaches.
And of course, we can't forget data.
Right.
What does the data module do in all of this?
So the data module is crucial because it provides all the information that the agents need, right?
To learn to grow.
Yeah, to learn and evolve.
Okay.
So whether you're using synthetic data that's generated within Camel or real-world data that's coming from external sources,
Right.
this module provides the tools for managing, processing, structuring that data.
So it makes sure it's in a format that the agents can understand.
Exactly. It's got to be usable by those agents, right?
Right.
And then one of the, I think, most fascinating aspects of CAMEL is its ability to facilitate that real-time communication between agents.
We touched on that before.
We did.
But I think it's worth highlighting again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's so unique to CAMEL.
It really is.
So this communication module, it provides the infrastructure for them to talk to each other.
Yeah, for them to exchange messages, share information.
In real time.
In real time, coordinate their actions.
Wow.
And this dynamic interaction, this is what allows for those emergent behaviors and those complex system dynamics.
Right, you wouldn't get that with a traditional AI system.
No, not at all.
So all these modules working together create this really powerful platform for simulating these complex AI systems.
They do.
But how are researchers actually using CAMEL to do experiments, to gather insights?
Yeah, so one of the most exciting areas of research right now is in the study of emergent behavior, right? So researchers are using CAMEL to see how these complex behaviors arise from the interactions of those individual agents, even when those behaviors weren't specifically programmed.
Oh, so even if you don't tell them to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like watching a group of people working together.
Yeah.
And you see how their individual actions can lead to these like unexpected outcomes at the group level.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and this has implications for understanding like everything from how traffic flows in a city to how financial markets behave.
Okay, so what about social dynamics?
Yeah, so another area of research is using CAMEL to simulate different social structures, right? Like hierarchies, networks, to see how those structures influence the behavior of the agents.
So it's almost like you're studying humans.
Yeah. By simulating those social interactions with AI agents, we can actually gain insights into our own social dynamics.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and maybe even find ways to improve them, right?
And what about developing new AI algorithms?
Oh, yeah, CAMEL's being used for that, too. It's like a test-it round for the next generation of AI.
Okay.
So researchers are using CAMEL to test new learning algorithms, decision-making models, communication strategies.
In this safe space.
Yeah, in this controlled, simulated environment, so they can see how those techniques perform before they actually deploy them in the real world.
Right. Which could have huge implications.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the open source nature of CAMEL really encourages that collaboration and knowledge sharing within the research community.
So it's not just a tool.
It's
driving the whole field forward.
It's driving the field of AI forward, for sure.
So we've covered a ton of ground today. From the basic concepts of CAMEL to like the nitty-gritty of its modular architecture.
All the modules.
So for our listeners who are just starting to learn about this, what would you say is like the biggest takeaway?
I would say that CAMEL is an incredibly powerful and versatile tool, and it's changing the way we study and develop AI.
Okay.
It allows us to simulate these complex systems, right?
Yeah.
Explore these emergent behaviors, test new AI algorithms in ways that just weren't possible before.
So if you're interested in AI, CAMEL is worth looking into.
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend it.
Well, this has been such an illuminating deep dive.
It has, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise.
It's been my pleasure. And I encourage all of our listeners to, you know, dive in and see what they can create with CAMEL because the possibilities are truly endless.
I love that. And to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into CAMEL. We'll see you next time.